So starting the test drive in the CTS here, the V6 is very potent, I will say that. Even in the tour mode. I low-key wasn't sure if I was in the tour mode because it got up to speed so quickly, but I'm gonna put in the sport now. We're gonna see how it gets up. I'm gonna try and give myself a little bit of space here to accelerate on the interstate. See if I'm able to do so. But so far, I mean, it's driving normally. I have a little bit of experience with these. From when I was selling cars, I drove these quite a bit, and they were actually on my wish list for a time being until the CT6 came out. And then I just had to have one of those, but foot to the floor. Oh, that was nice. That was very nice. And it was actually pretty surprising how good the exhaust sounded. It was just, wow. It was pretty good. Now let's try the cruise out here. I'm gonna put it into the tour mode. Now even on these 18-inch wheels, ride quality is still pretty good. Oh, and then sound acoustics in here are very nice. Ride is smooth, but with it being a CTS, I still feel like I have pretty good control of the vehicle. It doesn't feel, I just drove a 2015 Buick Enclave back to back with this, and the Enclave just feels a bit more, it feels a bit smoother than this, but I like the ride of this because this feels like something that I want to actually drive. And that was one of the big things with the CTS. I remember a lot of people saying, you know, people who were used to the Cadillac DeVilles and the STS, things of that nature, they're like, oh, that's just too sporty, that this, that, and the other. But they were going after a younger audience. And people like me definitely liked the direction that they were going with the CTS. And then, of course, all of a sudden, people didn't want cars anymore. So it was just, it's kind of disappointing because the CTS, specifically the CTS-V, was just one of the most awesome cars that Cadillac put out. And I mean, you have the CT5 now, which is a great car as well, but it just doesn't feel the same as the CTS. CTS just felt more raw. And even though the CT5V Blackwing is a monster, the CTS-V just felt, it just felt like a beast that couldn't be tamed, as opposed to the CT5V that is so controlled, which is, again, it makes it a great track car, but it's just so, there's so many electronics and things that go with that. It's kind of easy to drive, if that makes sense. Now, with this being a $17,000 car, I do like that these have come down. This one has a lifetime powertrain warranty at the dealer that I use, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC of Murfreesboro, Cadillac of Murfreesboro. But if you want to find a vehicle that's in your neck of the woods, and you want to find the best price that you can get with the options you want, definitely make sure that you check out my link below in the description. And you can go ahead and find the CTS or whatever vehicle that you're looking for without having to go to several dealerships. But all in all, I just think this is it's still a fantastic car to me. It still feels like a good car. It still feels like something that was stickering for 50, 60 grand back in its day. And although there aren't screens all over the place, it still feels very fancy. I'm gonna test drive a 2019 CTS, I think in a minute, with a 2-liter turbo and just compare this to that. Because this V6, even though this has 91,000 miles, I think that 4-cylinder has like 45,000. This still feels, again, fantastic. From the transmission shifts to the power the engine's giving out to the exhaust sound, this still feels like a performance CTS. And we're just not used to seeing that with Cadillacs. Ride's still good. Everything is still in tip-top shape, I think, other than that, well, I should say the Ultra View sunroof sunshade. So that just needs a little work, but still a great car, and especially for this price point. This will bring me to the end of my review of this 2015 Cadillac CTS Performance.